After the Battle of Cannae, Hannibal has to decide, and in fact Rome has to decide what to do next. So in this lesson, we're going to examine Hannibal's options, understand his choices and potential errors, develop some historical and strategic analysis skills. Mahabal, one of his commanders, panic, undermine. If you undermine somebody, you make them doubt themselves. You make sure they can't do it. You undermine them. Hellenistic, which is a term for the Greek world. Determination, extraordinary. Which is an extraordinary. It's far above the ordinary. It's extraordinary. Latin, which is a sort of a people. Allies, loyalty, and desertion. So, as we've seen, directly after Cannae, Hannibal appears to have won a crushing, he has in fact won a crushing victory. His cavalry commander, Mahabal, is said to have recommended taking the cavalry ahead, covering a couple hundred miles to Rome in a few days, maybe 5, and capturing Rome. Just now is the time to capture Rome. I will attack with cavalry, go ahead, I'll capture it before they know what's going on. So that's Mahabal's choice. That's his option. Hannibal decides against this, and historians have debated this for as long as really this war's been around. Did Hannibal make the right decision? He says, no, we're not attacking. Mahabal famously says a line about the gods not giving all their gifts to one man. You can win a battle but not win a war, something along those lines we'll look at in the lesson. So Hannibal decides not to march his army on Rome. Again, we'll talk about it's a great deal in class. Should he have? Maybe he shouldn't. Pros, cons. Could he have captured Rome? Did he have the siege equipment? Could he be there for months? Etc. etc. We'll talk about it in a great deal of depth in class. We'll have a discussion on this. But what he does do is he sends one of his officers to Rome with Roman prisoners to arrange their ransom. The way it works in the Roman world, in the ancient world, is at the end of a war or a battle, you would ransom back your prisoners. If you had more prisoners than they did, you'd swap one for one, and you had some guys left, and they'd pay you money. So Hannibal says, we're not going to attack Rome. We've won the war. We're not going to attack Rome. We're simply going to send back the prisoners for ransom and negotiate a peace treaty. And one of the things I want to talk about, Hannibal is acting like a Hellenistic general. He's from the Greek world. And by all contemporary standards, Hannibal's won this war. It's over. The Romans have lost. So he just expects the Romans to see sense and make peace. The Romans' reaction to all this is at first panic, huge defeat, but they do not give in. They are determined to carry on. Fabius is sort of put back in charge, reinstates his Fabian strategy, no more direct attacks. He takes some extraordinary steps that are out of the ordinary. He lowers the age of conscription to the army at 17. He puts criminals and slaves into legions. He takes all the weapons that are lying around in temples from pre-victories. He does whatever he needs to do to see to the immediate defense of Rome. And then, when Hannibal's officer arrives with the prisoners to discuss terms, the Senate simply won't see him. They won't allow the Carthaginian in the city. No deals, no talks, no ransoms. Yeah, they will not ransom their own men. A lot of them are quite senior men, they're senators, etc., who are prisoners of Hannibal, and they won't do a deal for them. They are sent back to Hannibal. Hannibal either executes them or sells them off into slavery. Rome simply won't make peace with Hannibal, which shocks Hannibal. Now again, what we're going to talk about is, did Hannibal make the right decision? Should he have attacked Rome? And look at all the pros and cons here. Here's Cannae, there's Rome. Did he make the right decision? Look at this map, what it means. The red bits stay loyal to Rome, by the way, the blue bits become Hannibal's allies. we have quite a lot on this, and then we'll do an essay question later on. So Hannibal's new plan. Okay, fine. I'll continue to wear down the Romans. In particular, now I've defeated the Romans 3 times, Trebia, Trasimene, Cannae. I will try and convert some of their allies into our allies. And this blue shading here, these are the parts of Italy that do desert to Hannibal. Bruttium, Luciana, especially here, Capua is the second biggest city in Italy. So these are big victories for Hannibal. But you can see the red bit, especially the Latin areas around Rome. The Latin alliance is here. All lots of cities here, and they are absolutely rock solidly behind Rome, even after all these huge defeats.